Welcome back, you guys, to Cerebral Palsy and Fitness podcast. I have Mr. Kadin McElwain on the show. Welcome, Kadin.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So he is actually a content creator and a student uh, who has autism himself. So Kadin, tell me to start the podcast out. Tell me a little bit about the part of the spectrum where you are as far as your autism. Do you know your
I'm on
diagnosis?
the higher end, which means I have hyperfixations on certain things, certain talents, probably some savanthood, but I'm just socially awkward and misunderstand some of the social cues of life, if you will.
Hey, but I mean, at least you got some sense of of the world around you. You understand it. So there's people that don't even have that. So at least you have that going for you. And being socially awkward isn't bad. Everybody has their different ways of communicating. I'm sure you have your own, right? What are some ways that you communicate? That you make up for that.
Mostly verbal, and what I mean by that is I don't normally do well in social situations and mainly like to keep to myself at times, especially in college when everyone's out partying and drinking and not focusing
Right.
on their academics. The thing with autism
Right.
is I take my academics extremely
Good for
seriously,
you. Good for you.
and nothing else comes first until that's completely done. If I didn't do that, I probably wouldn't have four consecutive dean's lists in a row going on number 5 and 6.
Hey,
But
that's
I've been working on putting myself out there recently, though.
That's fantastic, man. A small circle of friends is better than a big circle of friends because you're the ones that really care about you and want what's best for you.
I
You know.
absolutely agree.
What are you currently studying?
I'm studying to be a PR major currently, public relations, but I'm seriously thinking about switching to online university for the rest of my college career. And unfortunately, the school I go to, Kent State University, doesn't have an online public relations program. So the closest thing to that is online communications degree. So I'm considering switching to online, not only because the financial side of things and saving on housing, but mainly because I'm sick of seeing the protests on campus and the political
Hmm.
stuff on there.
Yeah, it's getting there here pretty soon with the election, and I personally hate talking about politics. I'm one of those people. I mean, I get it. It's about our nation and whatnot, but there's times where people push it too much. The agenda.
Absolutely. I'm a big guy into politics too. I'm big into that thing as well. I'm just in school to learn, not debate politics with people and
Mhm.
watch chaos being caused on a college campus because people think it's okay and justifiable because it's for a cause they like.
Right, right. So as far as public relations, what area do you want to take it in? What do you want to focus on? Do you want to focus on like sports for public relations, um, business?
Mm, It's complicated. At first, I wanted to do music and politics, political PR,
Okay.
but those two industries are extremely hard to get into. So now I'm thinking I want to do PR for a nonprofit organization that centers around autism. Then everything kind
Right.
of goes full circle in a way.
Yeah, I mean, focus on your strength, and that's you advocating and spreading awareness about autism. You know, um, when it comes to us to ourselves, I have a physical disability myself, and what you and I have in common is we have the platform and the voice to educate people, and if we do that, it'll bring more of an understanding and unite more people together to what we're doing and the differences we're trying to make in society as far as being positive.
Yeah, it absolutely is. That's pretty much what matters at the end of the day.
So I saw you do a YouTube channel as well, and you love drawing, right? You're a big drawer.
Hmm. I, drawing channel? I don't think I have a drawing channel. I do have a little YouTube channel where I do memes and stuff for fun, but I don't do drawing. I mainly like to separate the memes from the advocacy work.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, it's a hobby that you enjoy, so that's pretty cool. As far as like the advocacy work, what kind of advocacy work have you done? Like, what have you dabbled in?
Pretty much everything and anything. It all started with a class project for my freshman year of college in 2022 when I was 18 for a leadership class. The assignment was to think of a way to help the community and act upon it. So my group and I set up a GoFundMe for the Autism Society of America. We ended up raising over $1,000 for it, and we won a
Incredible.
contest with it. But I saw, as typical with my generation, the TikTok generation, my
Oh yeah.
group wasn't really into it. They only wanted to do the assignment to get the grade and the little brownie points prize money voucher thing for the school cafe that we got for winning the contest. And I saw autism wasn't a cause commonly pay given much attention to as often as a lot of the other causes in the world. So I thought, if no one else is taking this seriously, I might as well be the voice of my generation. So that class project led to me furthering my advocacy work. I've set up fundraisers for one of my favorite organizations in my county, the Lake County Special Needs Birthday Club. I've talked with political officials and at various meetings virtually with various clubs across the country to discuss my life story and autism awareness. I constantly appear on these platforms to tell my life story and hopefully inspire people. And just recently, Autism Digest allowed me to further my message
Oh, that's
by
awesome.
doing a feature on me. I mean,
Hey,
I've
that's
never
fantastic.
been, but it's still an honor just to be able to be in such a powerful article on the last page.
Where can we find that article so people can read about it?
It would be on Autism Digest's website, autismdigest.com, and you can order a copy of the August issue of a magazine on their website or on Amazon or that kind of thing. That article came thanks to a thing I got through Autism Speaks. As controversial as they are, I will say it's nice that they finally see that people with autism can go to college, do awesome things,
Yes.
but the problem I have is I still hold a grudge against them, if I'm being completely honest, for some of their past controversies, especially this one documentary I watched that they foresaw, if you will, called Autism Every Day. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it was in 2006 and it was a mess. It's my new favorite movie to hate watch, if you
Great
will.
watch.
Yeah. And it basically showed these four moms of of kiddos with autism moaning and groaning and complaining about how their life is hard, how their finances are horrible, not focusing necessarily on the kid, but how their lives are hard, how they want to do certain things, but they can't do that, how they were drafted into having a child with autism. And while watching it, I thought, to be fair, this was in 2006. Times were different back then, but they should have known that there's a spectrum of autism. Like I said, I'm on the higher end, so I consider myself lucky. I can do a lot of these things. I just need a little extra help with social stuff. But there are a lot of different people out there who are on the lower end of autism spectrum who can't walk, can't talk, and they have to be taken care of for the rest of their lives. So I think if the documentary focused on both the higher end of the spectrum and the lower end of the spectrum, it could have gone a whole lot better.
Yeah, I agree. Having both sides of autism, lower end and higher end, and really just bring it all together versus just focusing on one side of the story. Because with everything, there's always two sides of a story, and you can't just go with one, as you said. Something that really intrigued me on your YouTube channel that I was just watching was this concoction of like Red Bull and coffee. Where did you come up with that?
Uh, well, I was on a trip to Cape Cod once when I was 11, going through a weird phase of drinking a lot of caffeine. I was just introduced to it, and I was just messing around, trying out something. Started putting a little bit of Red Bull, a little bit of coffee, and took a swig. As they say, I've since then lessened my caffeine intake because I, of course, want to be around longer. I'm 20 years old now, and I don't have the metabolism that I had at 11 years old.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I just drink coffee honestly, like one cup and that's it. But I've never tried to mix Red Bull with coffee. But I can imagine it's like a uh, how can you compare it? Like a rocket to your heart, practically.
Yeah, it is.
I'm sure, and I'm sure you could have felt it like just palpitating. The majority of the time when you took both all at once.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, there was a time where I used to slam down energy drinks multiple times during the day. The most I've had in one day was 11. But there were times where I would
11?
drink 5 to 6 a day. But like I said, I've learned to lessen my caffeine intake. At most, I drink 1 to 2 cups of coffee a day now, and every now and again, if I'm feeling naughty, I drink a prime or something.
Okay. Yeah, at least you're still here, but man, 11. I don't know if I could do that. That is an impressive feat, and if you're out there, I'm sure he's as he said, you might want to be careful trying to do something like that, but but it's that's an impressive feat. I gotta say that's pretty impressive. Um,
Thank you, Dave.
so Kaden, where do you see yourself? You're still young. You're only 20. Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
Well, I definitely want to continue the work I'm doing now after college. Hopefully, through Autism Speaks, they said they might have an internship for me in the spring, waiting for me once I get to that point where I'm allowed to do internships. They make you have a certain amount of credits before you can apply to a couple of those. But I definitely want to continue the advocacy work I'm doing. I One goal I have is a TED Talk, like a lot of speakers my age do. And eventually, once I reach a certain point in my career, whether it's PR or advocacy, I definitely see a run for political office in the future, some form at least. I think we need more neurodivergent minds in political power. It would definitely help the world not be so divided as it is
Right.
now.
I agree, and I'm very very impressed by really your willingness and drive to really want to bring the change in the world to not just autism, but just our society and our community in general. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. And if is there anything, is there like a specific message you like to share out here with everybody? Something positive, something motivating that you want to leave us with?
Some advice for anyone going through what I went through. Uh, you are amazing. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You're going to go on to do great things. Embrace who you are. And if people don't care, don't give them the time of day because everyone's missing out on an amazing person. And honestly, it took me a long time to realize that.
Well, thank you, Kaden. I really appreciate it, and thank you for your time and for giving us this wonderful sharing us your journey and your story. And I hope to see you do big things in the future.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. And if you guys want to listen to this episode, you can go on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, and every other major podcasting outlet out there. And as always, until next time, and you all take care. Have a good one. Thank you, Kadin.
Thanks for having me.